Alright, so what we're doing now is removing or actually just loosening the foot peg bolts so that our bracket can slide in underneath them there. And this is, again, they're a little bit tight. I'm using a ratchet. The other side's going to be a little bit more of a challenge because we're going to have to use the Allen wrench over there. So I'm going to bring these down. See, they're pretty loose right there. Just do a little bit more to give me a good enough gap there. This is our MT1 bracket. It's going to slide in here. We're going to need just a little bit more gap on here. So I'll loosen the bolts up just a little bit more. That bolt that slides back and forth like that in the center, it's got a gap. Pretty unique design, so we're going to push it on. Slipping it right back on. We did the lower one, and now we're going to do the upper one. So we've got that in there. See how loose this is? We're going to have an alignment issue later, so we want to just leave that loose. Have it in place there, so when we line it up, we'll tighten it up later. All right, moving to the other side. We're removing these 4 top bolts. Here's where the SU rack is going to bolt up. Cheating a little bit using a T40 on an impact wrench. Just like that, they're done. You want to leave the inserts. The inserts are like this. You can see them like a little hat. You want to make sure those are left in there. All right, 4 bolts out. Threading them in a little bit. There we are. And it says to leave those bolts loose until final tightening, so we're just going to snug them down a little bit. Still loose. All right, we'll go to the other side, do the same thing. Putting the other side on. The short bolt goes to the rear. Get it started right there. The long bolt goes to the front. Making sure that we've got those special spacers in there. All right, we're going to put our front bolt in. It's an Allen head bolt and a nylock, and so we're going to line it up here. We talked before that this has got some slop in it here to put that in, so want the washer on it there. Put a flat washer on it right there, and then we're going to put the nylock on. We're putting the 8mm bolt with a flat washer, another flat washer, and a nylock, and in between goes this 1/4 inch spacer. Put that spacer right in there. Get it started. Get the flat washer on. Push it through just a little bit more to catch that. A couple threads, and then we're going to get our nylock on. Put it on there. So we're going to put the rear crossover bumper on using the 6x16 bolts. We're going to use a flat washer on each side and a nylock on the back side. Just get it started in one place. I've got it sort of held over right there on that side. Now I want to talk about the X and Y. If we can get you see that this has got a plane with the slot going this way, and this has a vertical slot. So we got a horizontal and a vertical slot. So after time, and when some of your bikes have issues or the rider has an issue, if an adjustment's needed, it can do that. And we're just going to get these on loose, get the other 2 bolts in, and then after that we'll start our tightening sequence. So what we're doing here is we've pushed this to the forward slot, so we're caught right there, so we're indexing. We could put it further back. I guess there's no right or wrong as long as you're to one end or the other, but it's lining up well there. And with that slot, she's notched in there. So just going to tighten this up. Boom, there we are. All right, we're going to finish tightening the top. All tied up there. Okay, so we've put everything on. We've square on the back here with our bumper. Our top bolts are tight. Our front bolt is tight. The only thing we have left to do is tighten up the foot pegs, which we're going to do next. Outro. Okay, our SU rack job is done. All the bolts are tight. The bolts that we loosened up the foot pegs with are tight. We have our mount bracket in here, our bolt with a spacer here, our 4 bolts up here. And remember, there was a long and a short one. The rear one is the short, the front one's the long. This SU rack is what we call our 5 series with Happy Trails, because it's all the plate, and that's why it fits so nice and snug with everything. There's no tubes on this one. We don't build them all this way, just this one in particular. So we're ready to put the pillion seat back on and be done with the SU rack install. Thanks for watching. You want to take your time when you're getting this, because you don't want to strip anything out. So
you know, I'm just going to have a great blooper reel at the end of this. Well, that's not it.
Well, that's not it.
Well, yep. Take your time.
Take your time. For those of you that are on your 3rd beer right now, whoa! Woe to you. You're wondering if this thing's ever going to go on. You know, I took the wrong stinking bolts off. Got that other bolt right here handy. Right here handy.